Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So inshallah we'll study ayat number 177 of Surah Al-Baqarah. The part of the ayah, because this is a long ayat. So we'll do a simple translation first.
Sure.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Laisa al-birra. Laisa means not. And al-birru is the righteousness. Righteousness or the goodness, or doing something good is birr. So Allah says here that doing good is not something. And what is that not something? Antawallu, that you turn wujuhakum, your faces, qibal al-mashriqi wal-maghribi, in the direction of east or west. So you think that you can just turn towards it and you say you're doing good, or you're turning yourself to the west and you say you're doing good. That changing or putting your direction is not the righteousness. But Allah says what is good. Walakinna, but al-birra, the righteousness is these things. First of all, man amana, he who believed billahi, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, wal yawmil akhiri, and in the last day, day of judgment. Wal malaikati, and he believes in the angels. Wal kitabi, and also believes in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wal nabiyyina, and then also he believes in all the prophets that were sent for the guidance of the mankind. Okay. Then, so these are the parts of the belief. Several things have been mentioned. Believing in Allah, believing in the day of judgment, believing in the angels, believing in the kitab, the book of Allah, and believing in the prophets, that they were the true messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the part of the belief. Now after the belief, the action comes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listing here some action items. وَآتَ الْمَالَ, and he gave his wealth. So the birr, the goodness is that someone, he gives his wealth, آتَ الْمَالَ, عَلَى حُبِّهِ, for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for his love. Allah hubbi, for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lists several people who would receive this mal. Okay? And we have mentioned only three here, but the list is longer. Zawil qurba. The first thing is that to the relatives. So look for who is in need in the relatives and then give them your wealth or your mal for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the number two is that spend your mal or wealth for yatama, for the orphans. And then wal masakina, and for the needy. So these three things, and their ayat continues, and there are more categories where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this can be spent, the money, the wealth can be spent. Okay? So we'll try to understand all this much here. So the word laisa, laisa means not. And laisa is actually a verb. It's not like a not is a noun, or la, which is just means not. Laisa is, and so you will see in the Quran that somewhere you will see laisat, somewhere laisa. So it follows the rules of the grammar. Okay, the word laisa. And meaning is not. Okay, and this is not. So here the simple is not. Okay. Then the next word starts with these letters, ba, ra, and ra. Okay. And this means to do good. And the noun from this is birrun. Birrun means is a good action or good deed. Okay? Good deed. That is birrun. Okay. Now, if you put al before that, al brings the meaning of da. Okay. And also al removes one dhamma and becomes al birru. So the word is al-birru. Al-birru means good action or good deed. Okay? Al-birru. Okay, that's the word. Now, when this al-birru comes after Laisa, okay? So, like as I said, the Laisa is like a verb and this is a noun. So, when the verb comes after the noun, then this Dhamma changes into a Fatah.
You mean before now?
The verb comes before now, yes. Okay. So the word becomes al-birra. So that's the word in the Quran. Laisal birra. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that goodness is not. Okay. Or righteousness is not. Okay. So this is goodness or good deed is not. So something, people think that doing this is a good action or good deed. Allah says that no, the good thing or good deed or good action or righteous action is that what Allah defines, not what you define. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first denying something here. What is that? An tuwallu. So let's look at those words. An means that. So an means that. Okay. Now the word, next word starts with these three letters: waw, lam, and ya. Now the word we know, wali. Wali means is a friend or protector or someone who is your companion. So the meaning of wala is to come close. When you come close to someone, you become friend. Okay? So one of the meaning is to come close. And these are three letters, wa, lam, ya, and they belong to the group of the word we call fa'ala. Fa'ala has three letters. So this is the group. Now, if I put a shadda on the middle letter, it becomes fa'ala. Fa'ala will put a shadda on the lam, so it becomes walla. This has the opposite meaning. The meaning is to turn away. Wala means to come close, become a friend. Walla means to go away, turn away.
Is this normal case or does it emphasize the same word if it was?
No, it's just the opposite direction.
In this case, but normally if you put
right, so every word has a different concept.
Varies.
It's not that it will always be like that. Okay, for example, alama means to know. Allama means to teach. So it becomes very different. Okay, but here, walla means to turn away. Okay, the word tawallau is from here, that means you turn away or you turn. Actually here we should not use the word away but to turn. Okay, and because the meaning of the remaining will come from the rest of the words. Okay, so to turn. Okay, so walla. Tawallau, when you put a ta in the beginning, it becomes you turn Tawallaw means you turn, and it's a plural. And alif is a waqaya, so this is like a taf'alu. Tawallu actually, not tawallu, tawallu. So Allah says that the goodness or righteousness is not that you turn. Okay? Okay. Now the word again, next word is waw, jim and ha. Okay. And wajhun, wajhun means face. Wajhun is the word which means face, like face. Okay? One person or one face. Okay? Its plural is wujuhun. Wujuhun means faces. Okay? Wujuhun means faces. And kum means you, it's a plural you. You or your. Okay. So when you combine these two words, you will drop one dhamma here, it will become wujuhukum, your faces. Wujuhukum, so combined word become wujuhukum. Just take out one dhamma from this, so it will be one left. So the pronunciation will be wujuhukum. Okay? Now also, the rule is that this is a verb, tawallu, and this is a noun, wujuhun. So when noun comes after the verb, dhamma changes into a fatah. So wujuho becomes wujuha. Okay, so this is the change will take place, and that's the word in the Quran. Wujuhakum, your faces. So Allah says that goodness is, or doing good deed is not that you turn your faces. Okay, your faces. Now turn to what? That's the next few words. Okay? Now the word qaf, ba and lam, qibla is the word. There are many words which are created with this qaf, ba and lam, but the word which is pronounced qibla, qibla means direction. Like qibla, we also say qiblatun, direction. Okay, we turn faces towards qibla, which means in the direction of Kaaba. So that is also qiblatun. But qibla means towards. The better translation will be towards or in the direction. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the goodness is not that you turn your faces toward. Now what is towards? There are two things that are being defined as al-mashriqu, al-mashriqi wal-maghribi. Towards east or towards west. Okay? So you think that will just turn your faces towards east or towards west and you become righteous person or you become good person or you're doing a good deed. That's not enough. Okay? So al-mashriq and al-maghrib. Okay? So the word is mashriqun and maghribun. Okay? And we know these words, mashriqun means east, and maghribun means west. Maghribun, the original words are mashriqun and maghribun. If we stop, we pronounce them mashriq, maghrib. But the full word is mashriqun, maghribun. Okay? Now, if we put al before that, then it becomes the east and the west. The direction of east, the direction of west. Okay? And so when you put al, these two them must change into one, and it will become al-mashriqu, al-maghribu. Okay? Al-mashriqu, al-maghribu. Okay? Now this word qibla is a harf-e zaman or makan, is a direction, toward. Okay? This is a harf-e jar, so it changes mashriqu to mashriqi and maghribu to maghribi. So when you put the word qibla before that, this becomes mashriqi, this becomes maghribi. So that's the word in the Quran. Qibal al-mashriqi wal-maghribi. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the righteousness is not that doing the goodness you think you're doing good, that you turn your faces in the direction or toward east, the east and the west. Towards the east, and wa means and, the west. Okay. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines that what is good, what is doing good. So next word is walakinna. Walakinna as a whole means but. Okay? So the meaning of walakinna is but. Okay? And the same word is repeating. Al-birra, doing good. Okay, so our goodness is something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is defining by saying, but al-birr is something else. Okay? Al-birr means the good action or good deed or being good or being righteous. Okay? That is neki. So what is that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now defining all those acts which fall into the category of doing right things. Okay? So the first one is man amana billahi. That's the very important, the first one. Man means whoever. Man means whoever. Okay? Then the next word starts with these three letters, alif, mim and noon. Amana. So these are three letters, Bab Fa'ala. Okay. If I put alif in the beginning, it becomes Bab Af'ala and becomes two alif, mim and noon. So when two alifs are there, you pronounce it amana. Amana means to believe. Amana means to believe. These are two alifs can be written as like that. One hamza and one alif, pronunciation a. And mana combined like that. And if you put harakas, amana, amana means he believed. Okay? Amana means third person past tense. He believed. Okay, so the word is man amana. Man means whoever, and then you don't have to translate this he. You can say whoever believed. Okay, so whoever believed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that whoever believed. Okay. Whoever believed, or whosoever believed. Okay. Now, believed in what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned few things. The first word is be, which means in, and Allahu, Allah. Okay, the word is Allahu. Okay, and when you combine these, this is a harf jar. Harf jar changes this dhamma to a kasra, and the word becomes billahi. Billahi means in Allah. So whosoever believes in Allah. So that's the first condition. To be good, first step is to believe in Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that if you think you want to be good, or you want to do good deeds, or you want to be righteous, so the first thing you have to do is that you have to straighten your faith, your belief. And what is that? Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His sifat. Okay? So believe in Allah. So that's the very first condition. After that is wa. Wa means and. Okay? And the word is yawmun. Yawmun means day. Yawmun means a day. Okay. And al, if you put al before that, it becomes the day. And al removes one dhamma, so it becomes al-yawmul, al-yawmu, the day. Al-yawmu, the day. Okay? And then the next word is akhirun. Akhirun means last. Akhirun means last. Do the same thing, you put an al before that. It becomes the last. Okay. And the same thing will happen that you will have to remove one dhamma. So it became al-yawmu means the day. Al-akhiru means the last. Okay? So if you join these by putting an off in between, okay? So what will happen? This will become akhiri. because when you combine, this dhamma goes there. So it becomes al-yawmul akhiri. Al-yawmul akhiri. Okay? So this meme still has a dhamma here. But it's this B is going to affect that also. Believe in Allah and believe in the last day. So this B will change this dhamma to a kasra. So this will become bil yawmil akhiri or wal yawmil akhiri. But B is there, its effect is happening here. So man amana, whosoever believed, billahi, in Allah, wal yawmil akhiri, and in the last day, the day of judgment. So that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting us. How and what are the things that one has to believe to be the righteous person. And the last day. Last day is the day of judgment. So whosoever believe in Allah and in the last day. So two things are important. First, believing in Allah, and then believing in the last day. Now also notice that these two things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, Allah and Yawmul Akhir, we cannot see these two things. So this we have to believe unseen. Just by hearing, we have to believe in these two things, that these are two true things. Allah, ilm ghaib, and wal yawmil akhir, the belief in the ghaib, in the unseen. Okay. Then the third thing after that is wal malaikati. Okay. So malikun means angel. Malikun means angel. Okay. And its plural is malaikatun. Malaikatun. Angels. Malikun is one angel, and malaika or malaikatun is the plural. Many angels, or all the angels. Okay? Malaikatu. You can write down together just like it's written here, or you can write down separate, which is okay. Malaikatun. Okay? Then you put al before that. Al means the angels. And when we put al, two dhammas will change into one, and it will become al malaikatu, the angels. Al malaikatu. Okay, the angels. And you can put a wow before that. Wow means and. Okay, so now you pronounce wal malaikatu, and the angels. And again, this is unseen. We cannot see, so we have to believe like the first two things here. Okay, so wal malaikatu, the angels. Okay. Now again, this be here, which means in, is going to apply here. So the word will be bil malaikati wa bil malaikati, because the effect of the harf jar and in the angels. Believe in Allah, believe in the hereafter, believe in the angels. So when the effect of this B will again change this dhamma with kasra. So the final word will become malaikati. Okay, that's the word in the Quran. Wal malaikati, and the angels. Wal malaikati, and the angels. Okay? The next word is kaf taba, this means to write, and kitabun means book, a book. Tabun means a book. Okay? Any book. Okay? So now if I put al before that, the book. And al will again change this to one dhamma. So it becomes al kitabu, the book. Al kitabu, the book. And now it becomes a specific book, the Quran. Okay? So he believes in the Quran, okay? The book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here again, man amana will be applied to this one, and this B will have the effect on kitabu, it will change to kitabi. So it will become kitabi. Al-kitabi, and the waw is before that. So wal-kitabi, and the book. So he believes in the angels and believes in the book. And the book.
So this book is very specific now.
Now you can say, assume that this is the Quran. Well, kitabi, and the book. Okay? Then after that is the word nabiyyi. Nabiyyi means prophet. Nabiyyi means a prophet. Okay. And if I put al before that, an-nabiyyu, so originally the word is nabiyyun. Nabiyyun means prophet. And put al before that, so it become an-nabiyyu, the prophet. Al-nabiyyu will pronounce as an-nabiyyu. That's the reason I put a shadda there. An-nabiyyu, the prophet, because noon is a harf shamsi letter, so it will change the sound of lam. An-nabiyyu. Okay? Its plural is an-nabiyyuna. An-nabiyuna. And this is plural, so it becomes the prophets. So, An-Nabiyyu is one prophet, the prophet, and An-Nabiyyuna, the prophets, plural. Just like where we have the word Muslimun, the plural is Muslimuna. So Nabiyun, Nabiyuna is the plural. You add a waw and noon at the end, it becomes a plural. Like Munafiqun, Munafiq and Munafiquna. Okay? Mujahid, Mujahiduna. Okay? So that becomes, by adding a guna at the end, makes it plural. Okay? So actually the word so far is An-Nabiyyuna with a waw here before noon. Okay? But this is still a part of the Iman, and this B is going to affect this word also. Okay? So when harf-e-jar comes before the plural, it changes waw into a ya. So it becomes Nabiyina. This is what is the harf-e-jar does? It changes the sound of dhamma into sound of kasra. So the sound of waw will change its sound of ya.
So we have 3 ya now.
So yeah, Nabiyina.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the 2 shaddas there. Okay. Nabiyina. So, and the prophets. And the prophets. So, he has to believe in all these things. That's the condition for doing bir, for doing good, that all these things one has to believe. He has to believe in Allah, he has to believe in the last day, he has to believe in the malaika, the angels, he has to believe in the book, that this book is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet is not writing the book. And then he has to believe that all the prophets that came, they were true prophets. Okay? So all these things are part of the belief. Okay? And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the deeds. Those things that someone has to do to achieve the bir, the goodness, the righteousness. And the first one is that alif, ta and ya are the root letters. They belong to Bab Fa'ala. Ata means to come. Ata means to come. But if we make the Bab Af'ala by putting an alif in the beginning, it becomes 2 alifs and ta and ya. Just like amana became amana, ata become ata. Ata means to give. So when we say atuz zakat, give zakat. So okay. And this can be written as ta. Okay. He gave. Wa'ata, and he gave. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that next thing that has to happen is that wa'ata, and he gave, and he gave. or he spent. Okay. So what did he give? What did he spend? The first word is al-malu. Okay. So let's look at that word. So the word is malun. Malun means wealth. Malun means wealth. Then you put the al before that, it becomes the wealth. And al-malu will change, al-malun will change to al-malu because of the al on the ma. So the word is al-malu. Al-malu means the wealth. Okay. Also, this is a noun. It's coming after the verb here. So whenever noun comes after the verb, dhamma changes into a fataha. So it becomes al-mala. Okay. So this will become fataha. That's the word in the Quran. Wa-atal mala. You can read together. Wa-atal mala. Separately is ata and al-mala. Wa-atal mala, and he gave wealth. He spent his wealth. He spent his money. Okay. Now, two words here. Allah and ha, ba and ba. Ha, ba means to love. Okay. Ha, ba and ba means to love. Muhabbat or love or habib. Okay. And the noun is hubbun. Hubbun means love. That's the noun. Hubbun means love. Okay. And who means his. And who is pointing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. So when you combine these two, it will become hubbuhu. When we combine, so the word become hubbuhu means his love. Okay. So this word becomes hubbuhu. His love, love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah means for the love. For, Allah can be translated for the love. Or upon the love or in the love. Okay. But Allah is a harf jar, and harf jar will change this to a kasra. So it will become hubbi. Instead of hubbu, it will become hubbi. Okay. And for pronunciation easiness, we pronounce this dhamma also a kasra. So it becomes ala hubbihi, for the sake of his love, or for his love, for the love of Allah. For his love. Wa'atal mala, and he spent his wealth, or he gave his wealth, ala hubbihi, for Allah's love, for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to gain any name or to be called any, generous person or for any show off, but only for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if I submit and obey Allah, Allah will love me and I will love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah hubbihi. So, وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ, and he spent his wealth for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for his love. So now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that where to spend. First, he should spend, and now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning those places where the love should, where the money or wealth should be spent. Okay? So here we are listing 3 and the ayat continues. So the first word is Dhawil Qurba. Okay? So let's look at this word. So Qaf, Ra and Ba. This means to be near. Qareeb. Qaraba, to be near, to be close. Okay? And Qurba means nearness. Okay? Al-Qurba, something which is close. And Dhawi means those who are close to you. So the whole word is translated near relatives. Those who are close to you in relation. Qaraba means someone who is close. So Dhawil Qurba, near relatives, who are close relatives to you.
So Zavi actually comes from the zoo.
Zu,
And means possess.
Wala,
Why?
Qurbat Wala.
Yeah.
So Zu means Masjid Wala, Zul Jalal wal Ikram Jalal.
Possessor of.
Possessor or owner. Okay? But when it combines, so in English it's a very simple one word, relatives. Okay? Dhawi and Al-Qurba in English together will mean near relatives or relatives, because relatives are near to you than the outsiders. Okay? So Dhawil Qurba, near relatives. Okay, and then the word is Yatimun. Yatimun means orphan. Yatimun means one who is orphan. And its plural is yatama, which is written like that. Yatama means orphans. Yatama, orphans. Yatimun is one orphan. Yatama is the plural of that. Orphans. Okay. And you can put al before that. The orphans. Okay. So he spent his wealth for the sake or for the love of Allah, first to the relatives, near relatives, Dhawil Qurba, and then to the orphans, the people who, the children who don't have fathers are Yatama. Okay? And the orphans. and he spent his money or wealth for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala towards yatama, after relatives. Okay? And then third one is Seen, Kaf, Noon are the root letters, and Miskinun, means needy. Miskin is the one who doesn't have anything. Okay. Miskin, nun is needy.
What is sakan?
Sakana is the root letter, it has many ways. Sakana means to reside, sukoon, maskan. All those words come out of that one here. So from this, the word miskin is the one who doesn't have. Is miskin. Okay. Miskinun. Okay. Its plural is masakinun. Okay. So masakinun, you can write down separately like that. Masakinun means needy pupil. Plural. Miskin is one person who is needy, and masakinun is the plural, needy pupil. Okay? And then you put al before that. The needy pupil. So when you put al, two dhammas change into one, it becomes al masakinu. Okay. And because this is a noun, al masakinu, it's coming after ata, gave to masakin. So noun coming after verb, this dhamma will change into a fatha. Al masakina, the needy people. Wa means and, the needy people. And the ayat continues, about half of the ayat is this, it continues, and there are many other categories which are mentioned in there, that wal masakina wabna sabili, and those people who are traveling, and wasailina, and those who ask.
Next two words, because that is following the same thing. And then stops.
Okay.
Then it starts a new phase.
Okay. So let's do that word. After that, the word is wabnis sabil. Okay. So sabala. Okay. Sin, ba, and lam. Okay. These are the root letters. Okay. So the word sabilun is the word. Sabilun means path. Sabilun, sabil means path, yeah, traveling, like a road. Yeah. Sabilun means road. And the word is ibnu. Ibnun means son. Ibn means son. Okay, when we say Ibn Abbas, son of Abbas. Okay, so Ibnun and Sabilun. So if I combine them, Okay, first of all, if you put an al before that, al means the. And al will change this to one dhamma. So it will become al sabilu. Okay? So it becomes al sabilu. Okay? And because Seen is a Shamsi letter, so the pronunciation will be as-sabilu. As-sabilu. As-sabilu means the path. Okay? So now you have, let me write down here. You have the word Ibnun. Ibnun means son. Okay? And you have the word as-sabilu. As-sabilu means the path. Or the road. Okay? So you have two words. Son and the road. Okay? Now, same thing we do when put an off in between. In English it will become son of the road. Okay? We'll see what it means. But what we do here, when we combine these two, you lose one dhamma. It becomes ibnu. And this becomes sabili. Okay? So the word is Ibnus Sabili. Okay? Ibnus Sabili means son of the road. Now who is son of the road? The traveler. The traveler, the one who is traveling, is called son of the road. Son of the path. Because he is on the path. He is a journey. So it means traveler. Okay? So the word becomes Wabnus Sabili, and the traveler. So the traveler is traveling. He is traveling from one place to another place, and during his journey he may need some help. Okay, because not like today's journeys, but old age journeys where people are traveling for months and months and months and going through the difficulty of the travel. So they may be in need of some help. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that those people who are traveling, okay, spend your mal on them also, because they may be in need of some help. Okay? So these are the categories Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning.
That's where the fiqh for this comes along, that even if he was a multi-millionaire or rich man, and he's traveling and he's in need, he can be given the zakat and is acceptable.
Okay. Yeah. So it's another thing that he doesn't accept, but he's eligible.
He's eligible, but sometimes he may accept it. For him it is okay if he has to. He can always repay.
Yeah. Okay. And again in the Quran it is fatah here, because this noun will change after the verbs to a fatah. So wabnas sabili. Okay. For the traveler. Okay. So inshallah we'll stop here and we'll continue from there on.